Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Wednesday, 5th of November. We are live, and today on this cards, on today's stream, we're gonna talk about Bukayo Saka because I'm not so sure if I'm only one feeling this way. I might be. I'm not gonna lie. I might be. Maybe I am not. But Bukayo Saka's recent performances have not been the most convincing ones. Give me a sec. Haven't been the most convincing ones, to say the least. Let's just put it that way. It hasn't been a great watch. He's been struggling a lot. He's been injured quite a bit in recent times. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I genuinely do not know what is what and where this is gonna lead, because I want Saka to do good, but the way he's been ran into the ground, the way he's been struggling in recent times is actually not great. Definitely not great. The injuries have absolutely shredded him. Arteta has ran him into the ground. And now at the moment we are looking at these instances and we are looking at Saka's performances, and at the end of the day, they raise more questions than give answers to some extent. Is the injury still bothering him? Are there some long-term consequences? Is it a mental thing? Is it both? Is it Arteta's over-reliance on him that has basically now, like, the tank is dry. Let's be real. If Saka running on fumes at the end of the day, and it's coughing up. It's coughing up like the last breath that the engine takes before your tank basically runs flat. Like, it feels that way. It definitely feels that way, and kind of feels also that if at some point, if he gets injured once again, it could be over. It definitely could be over to some extent. Hence why today on the stream, we're going to talk about all that. We're definitely going to talk about all that. We'll see where that leads, because I definitely know that I'm not the only one who feels that way. And I definitely know that there are other people who feel quite opposite of my opinion. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So like the stream, subscribe if you're new. We are almost at 1K. We are inching towards it, like 27 or something like that away. So don't forget to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the live chat regarding this. Leave your thoughts in the live chat. Big up Mubarak. Hope you're doing well. Saka is missing his teammate Odegaard. To be thrilled, Odegaard back. Then Saka also back on his true form. I don't think so. Because last year when Odegaard got injured, yes, Saka wasn't the same. He was a bit different, but he was still performing. He was still putting out performances. Right now, he's not. And it doesn't matter whether he has Odegaard, whether he doesn't have Odegaard at the end of the day. If he is the great guy, if he is the star boy, the main man, the myth, the legend, the one that's going to get us over the line at some stage, that this team to some extent has been built around even, he should not need help. He should be good despite not having Odegaard. He should be just as good, and he is not. No. Bless me. He's nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near. The performances have dipped quite a bit. Yes, you cannot deny that he performs better with Odegaard on the pitch. At the same time, it's not there. For me, it is not there. He's not doing the Saka usual things. I'm not even talking about when Saka just joined the club and everything, when he got promoted, when Arteta just took over, when Arteta basically made him a different type of player, Saka was still performing despite all that. I'm talking about the last year and a half, something like that. It's not great. It definitely is not great. It's down to system, partially as well. It's down to many aspects, but for me, the most, it's down to injuries. Mikel Arteta has run this guy dry to the maximum extent. And that for me is a big worry. Big up PW, hope you're doing well. Big up Coach, long time no see. Big up Anfield the Red. Yeah, one Conor Bradley. Yeah. The carrier on the bench. Club Brugge, Barca 1-1. Yeah. Like, Club Brugge scored and Barcelona pretty much instantly replied. The Newcastle are 1-0 up as well on Athletic Bilbao. Big up, Rude Boy. Big up. And Saka was tracking back. We fuss now. He's taking a little easy. We fuss. Saka is good. I see no issues. He's not good. At the moment, he's not good. He's overholding possession. He's being very selfish. He doesn't pass. He goes to the ground way more easily. It's borderline diving to some extent. The performances are not there, not even talking about the output. Because Saka before didn't have great games, but he had the output. Right now, he doesn't have even the output. And since he had that injury last year that dragged into this year, then he got rushed back for Real Madrid. He was running pretty much on pure adrenaline, let's be real. And afterwards, yeah, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. Saka, for example, hasn't had assists in Premier League in more than 11 months. It's almost a year. November 30th, it will be 1 year if Saka doesn't get the assists as well. Like, that's the thing. Big up. I also Saka works. He does, but that doesn't exclude the fact that he's not good enough at the moment. He's struggling, at least in my eyes. The Saka issues we still need a winger. I saw a stat that Trossard is the most picked player under Arteta. We're still having missing pieces. Doesn't help if we win now and don't win in 20 years. Yeah, but it doesn't look like we're gonna win in 20 years. In 20 years, we will have no Saka. Let's be real. In 20 years, we will have no Saka. For years, on social media, for the last year and a half on this channel, I've been talking about backups. I've been talking about giving Saka a rest. I've been talking about all this stuff. And people said, nah, he's fine. Don't worry. You're just being toxic and negative. You have an agenda. I don't. I want him to get a rest. He plays every single game for Arsenal, pretty much bell to bell, in pretty much almost every single game. He plays in the games where he should not be playing. He plays every single international game, pretty much. As long as he can walk, he's there. And that for me is, as great as it sounds, it's not good enough. He needs rotation. For me, he is pretty much finished to some extent because it doesn't look like he is going to change unless maybe a new manager comes in and makes him like a midfielder, a number 10, maybe a striker even to some extent, something like that. Maybe then. A center forward, maybe then. But as a winger, he's not there. The pace doesn't feel like it's there anymore. Shot power also doesn't feel like it's there anymore. It's not the same Saka. And as I said, I'm not talking about Bukayo Saka before this control, possession, obsession, BS type football we are playing to some extent, right? The boring one. I'm talking even before that, when Saka just started to come up into the team. He was taking on his man consistently. He was slalom dribbling between them like hot knife through bar. He was doing everything, and he had the output. Then Arteta changed the system. The performances dipped, but the output actually stayed the same and even rose because Saka was that good. Now for the last year, we have no performances and no output. And that is down to injuries, recovery, another injury, of course. But it all accumulates together, and common predominator into all of this is, well, let's be real, Mikel Arteta. And if you think I have a gen on Mikel Arteta, I don't. It's pretty much well documented that he plays players injured, he rushes them back, and Saka has been no exception. Saka is one of those undroppables in Arteta's team. He plays when he walks. As long as he has one good leg to stand on, he is on that 11. He is in that 11 to start. And now we are seeing the result of him consistently and constantly playing games bell to bell, pretty much carrying this team single-handedly to some extent on his shoulders. And we are now in this spot where you could argue we are one injury away from everything just falling down. Everything. Big up Marlon. Expected all the overplaying plus rushing him back when the season was already over. Exactly. Same game now, no individuals. So what? That doesn't mean you don't have to perform. That doesn't mean your ass should not be on the line. That doesn't mean that you are bigger than the club and you are some sort of exception to not being criticized, not being called out, not being benched when you drop a stinker. But with Saka, it's obviously different rules. Big up Stockholm Gunnar. Big up. Hope you're doing well today. Hope Sweden is doing well today as well. Big up AJ, the hardest working mod in the world. Big up to you. Saka is finished. Trade him for Olise. Saka, yeah, I think one injury and he's done. He definitely could be. We are not that far from that. And he's only 24. And that's the most insane part. Yeah, big up people. Like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I guess that's why we bought Noni. Yeah, when it was too late. As always, Arsenal do things when it's too late. It took us how long? A decade almost to replace properly Patrick Vieira. Like 7, 8 years, 9 years. We always do things when it's too late. We sign the right striker when it's too late. We sign the right defender when it's too late. And now again, we have a backup for Saka. Yeah, on paper it's great, but again, it is goddamn too late. That's the thing. You need to see these things. You need to plan these things. You need to do stuff. You don't need to sign 60 defenders and totally ignore the attack. Before this summer window, before this specific summer window that finished a few months ago, we had spent 80 million on the attack, about 250, 300 on midfield, and rest was on defenders. That doesn't scream to me any like we are supported. We are supporting our attack. Saka has the backup. Saka has the support. Saka has help. Doesn't scream to me at all. Hence why Saka plays these games bell to bell, and it's very dark at the moment. Very dark. Club Brugge scored again. Club Brugge scored again. After a grade 3, you are meant to get 300 days off to keep play Fulham 93 days post-injury. He was rushed back against Real Madrid, playing on adrenaline. Yes, he got us 2 free kicks, which Declan Rice scored from. Feel-good factor at the end of the day. He was rushed back. He was not fully healthy. He got another injury. Who knew? Oh, wait, everyone knew. Well, not everyone. People who actually have eyes knew. Then again, he goes out for a bit and everything. Like, come on, man. Noni knew not good, yeah. It's true that Haaland open? I don't know. Genuinely don't know. If he last summer signed a 10-year deal at Man City, I don't think so. We should have paid the extra for Brian Buemo instead of Noni. Yeah, you could definitely say that. We should have signed someone like that to have a proper backup, more electric, more pace, more risk-taking. Let's just put it that way. And at the moment, we don't have that. Big up Hendon. Yeah, Barca losing 2-1 to Club Brugge. And if people think it's going to be easy against Club Brugge when we go there, well, I wouldn't be so sure. But we have the best squad in the Premier League. Squad is more filler than killer. Yeah, it's basically panning over the cracks to some extent. Like midfield, the backups in midfield is not it to some extent. Attack as well, to some extent, is not it. Let's be real. Defense, the thing is, for the last 2 years, I have been sitting here, almost 2 years, year and a half, I've been sitting here and saying that defense is the position where I feel the most comfortable. Because no matter how you look at it, more or less we have proper covers for everyone. Midfield is a 50-50 coin toss. Attack is the shambolic mess that we are in right now. At the end of the day, we are paying the price. We literally are paying the price. Barca losing, that gotta be cap. It's Barca. Barca is losing 2-1. Manchester City just scored against Borussia Dortmund as well. Foden scored, but yeah, Barca are losing 2-1. I think after the injury Saka had, he's trying to find his normal good groove. Yeah, I think so, yeah. But the fact that he got rushed back, he wasn't fully fit. You could see that when he was playing. Then he comes back, obviously. He plays those games, the break and all that crap, and he gets injured again. He got injured again. Let's not forget that. And it's not looking great. He is trying to find his groove, but players never come back the same after grade 3s. Never, ever. And it's almost in a situation where he's pretty much on the edge to meshing up both knees, and then it's all done and dusted at the end of the day. We saw what happened to Michael Owen as well. Yeah, defense is mad, but defense is not a topic today. It's Bukayo Saka, it's the attack, it's that player himself. It's Mikel Arteta overplaying him, overusing him, squeezing the maximum amount of juice out of him until he basically is useless. Man, what the hell? It's not bad. Imagine when Noni, Kaya, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Jesus come back. And imagine if in that time somebody else gets injured. These what-if scenarios, yes, we talk about them, but that's not a given. Noni Madueke is decent on when he goes forward about 50-60% of the time, but he has no end product. Kai Havertz, well, let's be real. We know Odegaard is as useful as a wet paper bag. And Martinelli hasn't been it for the last 2.5 years. Since that 22-23 season, pretty much hasn't been the same. This system doesn't suit him whatsoever. And Jesus, the Mr. Hospital himself, come on, man. What are we doing even here? Jesus last year, he came back for 3-4 games and got injured again for a year almost. Like, that's not serious. Arteta out January, we need proper manager, midfielder options, and that crowd attack. The left wing is the worst. January Bertie. Yeah. Would you give Arteta more money? Would you be open to giving Arteta more money? That's a different type of question. Foden scores for City to put them 1-0 up. Yeah. We have gears to go up. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we'd have. Imagine. That's the thing. Imagine a fully fit squad. Okay. Imagine Declan Rice, Gabriel Magalhaes, and David Raya are injured for 6 months. Imagine that. Imagine our whole midfield is injured. Imagine Declan Rice and Zubimendi both are out for 3 months, and for the next 3 months we have to see Norgard Merino midfield. Let's imagine. Why not? Don't want Jesus nowhere near the starting 11. As a backup on the wing, I can see that, but like there are too many questions. Cracking goal by Foden called from 25 yards out. Damn, that's a nice one. 25 yards out and freaking... Well, Foden, yeah. Big up, Tyrell. Big up, Tyrell. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to Tyrell. Yeah, and Jesus needs to leave. 100%. Fully agree with that. Jesus also must go. Mr. Hospital CEO should have been at the sideline. 265 grand a week for Jesus for basically sitting in the hospital for pretty much every year. For almost full year, to some extent. Yeah, it is. Imagine. Ins, what's, buts, and maybes. Exactly. And we have loads of those. We can always do some of those, but at the end of the day, you can only use what's on the paper and what's available. And let's be real, it's not looking great at the moment. Well, it's not bad, but it's not also great. Don't want Odegaard, Kai, Madueke anywhere near the starting 11. As a backups, yeah, okay, cool. I can live with Kai Havertz as a backup. I can live with Madueke as a backup. Odegaard, as well, for me, is a backup at best. Let's be real. But at the same time, hey, go figure, right? Go figure. People like specific players. For some weird reason, people like players and they think that players are bigger than the club, because as soon as you mention Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, all these guys, oh, you are toxic and negative. How can you say these things about the players? I'm just talking about what are, in my opinion, best interest for the club. And is Jesus in the best interest of the club? No, he's not, in my opinion. Is Odegaard better than Eze? No, he's not in that sense. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. In my opinion, they are not. And today as well, I'm reading this right now. Apparently, Arsenal have finally struck a verbal agreement with Bukayo Saka to extend his deal. We are apparently extending his deal. It will be a yearly salary worth around 12.5 million, which is pretty much equivalent of 235,000 a week. Now, to put that into perspective, right? Bukayo Saka's salary currently at Arsenal is like, what, 200 or something like that? Where is it? Premier League, salaries, Arsenal. But let me check what Bukayo Saka is on right now. Bukayo Saka. Saka is on 195,000 a week. So basically, Bukayo Saka is getting a 40,000 grand a week wage increase. That's what Saka is getting at the moment. If, and that's a big if, you believe this report, of course. Yeah, imagine. But what's the point on imagining? I can imagine us winning the Premier League. I imagine we are not signing even Arteta in the first place. What could have happened? Ins, what's, buts, and maybes. But yeah, I'm not going to deny the fact that Madueke as a backup for Saka, okay. Jesus on a wing as a backup as well would not be the worst option. But can he stay fit? Doesn't look that way. Yeah, Jesus out, Odegaard out, Merino out, Bing and Ruiz left 8 in the wing. Yeah, I get it. Sadly, Jesus is finished. Those knees are shot to pieces. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. His knees are non-existent. He's basically, I don't know, he's a no-knee. No pun intended. Noni Madueke, he's a no-knee. No knees. That's what it is. We have Noni Jesus. No knees. That's what we have. Joga finito, Noni Jesus. My favorite players are Gabriel, Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Timber, and Ryan. Nice. Gabriel, I assume Magalhaes, Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Timber. Yeah, nice. Some of the best players we have. Don't give Saka a new contract. Hope there are proof of fitness. He only gets the money when he is fit to play. Well, we'll see. The deal has not been signed yet. Apparently. It's just a verbal agreement. But if it's signed, yeah, we could be in a bit of an issue here. Let's just put it that way. Kai Jesus Olgar will ruin everything. Martinelli, well, it is what it is. Jesus' knees are shot. Our job is to get him fit to be able to sell him. Well, he wasn't fit last year, and we rejected 45 million offer from Palmeiras, so maybe there would still be takers, especially if he's fit. And Jesus is gonna be back, January? Most likely, by the looks of things, which again means he will have no time to pick up some form to sell him in January. Which again means it's most likely going to be summer, which means for that half a year, he's still going to be here. And he's going to rack in 1.4 million almost, still extra. And that is coming out of Arsenal's budget, if we are looking at for that way. But yeah, Saka apparently is scheduled for a new contract. And here is a thing I wanted to talk about. Hold on. Wrong image. This one. Here it is. Bukayo Saka. I need to kind of zoom in, don't I? This is the 1920 season of Bukayo Saka, right? As you can see, he plays 26 games, left backs, left mids, right wings, right mids, and all that crap, right wing backs, right? That's the first season when he plays in Arsenal's main squad. Now, if we go to 2021 season, look, 39 games, 4 goals, 11 assists, which actually is not too bad for an up-and-coming player, if you look from that point of view, who spends quite a bit of time as a left back, of course, as well, if we include that into the equation. Whilst the next season is loading, City goes 2-0 up. Who scored? Who scored for City? Erling Haaland. Who else? Erling Haaland has scored for Man City. Who else if not Erling Haaland? Him and Trossard, yeah, an actual left wings. We need Yildiz. I would love to have Yildiz at Arsenal, I'm not going to lie. I would love to have Yildiz at Arsenal. And yeah, here is the next season. 46 games, he plays a bit more in Premier League. 7 goals, 10 assists overall, 5 in Premier League, 4. And now from here, from 21-22 into 21-22 season, Saka starts to rise, obviously. Players figure each other out. Saka finds his footing slowly but steadily. And as you can see, 11 goals, 7 assists. 11 goals, 7 assists, 38 games. Then comes the infamous 22-23 season, by the way. The infamous 22-23 season, which I wish we could go back to and play that style of football, but obviously winning is all that matters at the end of the day. 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points, double digits in both aspects. We fast forward another year, 23-24 season. He improves even more, 16-12, 28 points. Then we go to last season. And it obviously he gets injured here. Saka got injured here last season. Where is it? Come on. 24-25, show. It's loading. Let me wait till it's loaded in. Let me see. Let's see. Hopefully it gets loaded in very soon because I'm sick and tired of waiting. The website kind of glitches here for a tiny bit at times. Would be nice if it loaded very, very soon. There we go. 6 goals, 11 assists. From 25 games, you look 17 games played. You may think, well, it's not that bad, right? However, here is the kicker in all of this. He picked up 11 assists and 5 goals out of the 6 up until he got injured. He picked all this up until he got injured. And notice that he pretty much plays exclusively full 90 almost every single game, right? He picked up all the 11 assists till November 30th, 24. Since then, he has had 0 assists in Premier League, and he scored 1 goal since then, and that came against Fulham, and that's it. That's it. He hasn't done anything else. And here we see that the results of Arteta overplaying him, overdoing him, overusing him, and having no backup. Because if we go into this season, 8 games, 2 goals, and he has missed also 2 games on top of all that in Premier League. Saka hasn't had an assist in Premier League for almost a year. But you saw, before Saka got injured, he was on course of having a record-breaking, arguably, assist season, for himself at least. 11 assists by December already. And the nuts part is Saka didn't get an assist till the end of that season, and nobody came close to his assist total then. And that is a very insane to even think about. But yeah, you saw that Saka was gradually increasing more and more and more. And that was despite all the players that were changing around him. Something came in, something went out. All the systems that got changed seasonally by Mikel Arteta. Starting from 21-22, 22-23, 23-24, and all this stuff. He was still having performances. Well, not performances. He was still having the output. But right now, Saka has none of those. Because if Saka sometimes had he used to have some stinkers, at least we could count on him to get some GA. And that also many times will carry us over the line. There's no denying about that. But right now, when we look at this, there is no GA and there are no performances. Saka is pure shadow of what he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Nothing of that. And this is all because Mikel Arteta didn't sign a backup, didn't rotate them, played him in insignificant games like Preston, when we are 5-0 or 4-0 up against West Ham in the 60th minute, and all these types. Not giving him enough rest. Because he's not just one of the main guys for Arsenal, he's one of the main guys for England national team. And he plays there consistently as well. It's actually insane. And right now, when you look at Saka when he plays, you can see that he's off it. It's mindset. It's injury, maybe consequences of that surgery. He's feeling something when he runs or does something, or maybe obviously you can see that he's frustrated because he cannot do some things he wants to do. And what is that down to now? Again, injuries, mindset, psychological, mental effects from the surgeries and the injuries, and scared that if something like that happens again, he's done for, or what? Or it's again on Mikel Arteta with the system, with the style, how he wants to play. Because if you all want to say that it's because of Odegaard or some crap like that, that's total and utter BS. Because if Saka is so reliant on Odegaard to have such great performances, which we saw last year, it wasn't the reason why. How the hell can you call him top 3 best right winger in the world? Because that should not be the case, should it? That should not be the case. Let's be real. Yeah, Man City are looking like they're running wild on Borussia Dortmund without shadow of a doubt. The team playing 6-7 individual numbers don't matter. We're winning every game and don't look like losing. I get it, but I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about Bukayo Saka. I'm not talking about us winning or losing. I'm talking about performances. The fact that he's not the same, and it doesn't look like he's gonna get even close to what he was. I'm talking about that. Merino, best striker at the club. Big up Sheldon, by the way. Big up Sheldon. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Stop wishing down draws at will backfire, wishing things. Yeah, true. That also, karma comes back and bites your ass. Hence why I'm not the giddy moron who says Arsenal are going to win a quadruple. Arsenal are definitely winning the Premier League, definitely winning Champions League and all this stuff. Do we look good? Defensively resilient? Yes. If we score first, good luck scoring against us. But to say already that we are winning it all, pretty much, that's definitely not it, how to go about these things. Because, again, as coach wants to say about all of this, imagine if we win. Everyone's happy, right? But imagine this opposite scenario. If it all comes down crashing and burning, what then? What goddamn then? Big up Godfrey. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, I knew this stream is gonna rub people the wrong way because people are not. For me, it's very evident that Saka is not the same, but people maybe don't want to admit that. People say, "Oh, there's nothing about Saka. It's not that deep." It is that deep. Arsenal is not one season old. Saka has not been at Arsenal for one season. He's been here for 5 seasons, more even. And it all accumulates together. It cannot be one season off. Joker is clear, and if has Martinelli, what he did for Brazil, yeah, Martinelli up top as well. Saka and Martinelli are him. No, Martinelli definitely is not him. Eze proves Martinelli's level is above. In which universe Eze is better than Martinelli? In which universe? Oh, sorry, I misspoke. In which universe Martinelli is better than Eze? In which universe? Yeah, even Trossard gets more GA than Martinelli. And we looked at the stats during summer. Trossard was 3-4 times more effective as a starter. He was like 2 times more effective as a starter compared to Martinelli. And he was almost 2 times more effective as a bench player, coming off the bench as well than Martinelli. Eze is better than Martinelli, yeah. I admit in 22-23 he was him. The celebrations was lit, but come on, after that he's nowhere near. Yeah, one good season. And people are still living off that one season hype. If we were doing that, Reece Nelson is the best youngster Arsenal have ever had, if he lives off that one goal still to this day. Yeah, he signed him this season. What about season before? And season before? And season before? We are asking a 20-year-old to play about 45 to 55 games a season, almost like about 90% of that season for the full 90, and to carry this team on his shoulders single-handedly. Where does that make sense? There's literally nothing wrong with Saka. Well, good for you if you think like that. Saka has no assists in a year and has terrible goal-scoring output. He ain't nowhere near 23-24. Yeah, 23-24. He had 16 goals, 12 assists. And after that, Saka was on course to having a brilliant season last year, 24-25 season. 12 assists already by November 30th. At that pace, he could have had about 30 assists per season. Obviously, hypothetical, since we love these what-if scenarios and all that crap, right? Let's imagine that happens. What we would be talking about then, something completely different. But he didn't. It actually happened. The thing we were fearing the most. Saka got injured. Let's be real. And he didn't have backup then. We have backup now, but it's injured. And we didn't have backup 2 years ago, 3 years ago for Saka. Bro, Saka hasn't warmed up yet. He has never been electrifying, but always stays on a consistent level. Yeah, at the moment, he's consistently awful. If you mean that. He hasn't warmed up yet. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? That's some bull. We haven't even won 20 matches yet, and Arteta will make everything turn into garbage. Hopefully not. Based on what top Gunners are saying, we are winning the quadruple, so hey. Nelly hasn't been nowhere good in 3 years. Yeah, 2.5 years Martinelli has not been it. Has not been it whatsoever. Nelson right now, low-key better than Martinelli. To be honest, Nelson had a fantastic preseason. And we got him off our books to some extent. Every year, Arsenal fans choose one of the players that shoot down. Last year, it was Odegaard. I guess it's Saka's turn. Well, you can shoot down whoever you want. I've been saying this all the time. I was talking about Odegaard. I can talk about Odegaard now, but Odegaard is not playing. I am calling Odegaard out. I'm calling everyone out who I think is not performing to the levels, who is not performing to the standards, who is below standards, who he has set for himself. Because 2 years ago, we saw the standards of Saka and we know he can go higher. 3 years ago, we saw the Martinelli levels he can go and even surpass that. And we have seen it nowhere near. Martinelli currently, not to full extent, but to partial extent, looks like one season wonder. To some extent, not full extent, but it has indications of one season wonder syndrome. To some, yeah. Big up. 11 likes, people. Big up to you all. Much love. Much love. Big players score in big games. If Saka scores in the UCL final, no one will care. Yeah, if Saka scores in UCL final, when was the last time we were in a UCL final? Oh, 2006. When was the last time we won a semi-final game under Mikel Arteta? Oh, it was when we won the FA Cup. Right. But since then, he has had 8 semi-final games under Mikel Arteta in all competitions. We have won none of them, drawn 2 of them, and lost 8 of them, and only scored 2 goals. Oh, countless. I have had broken leg, arm, sprained, strained, muscle injuries, shot muscles to bits. I have had almost everything. Shoulders, neck injuries, and everything. Saka has no GA ratio like he did every match. You would see Saka get a goal, an additional 2 assists, and a goal. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm talking about this. Hence why this stream, hence why this worry about Saka. Hence why. Odegaard isn't good. Saka was pre-injury. Yeah. Saka is beyond warmed up. He is dry. He's dry. I love Saka. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Saka. But at the moment, he is not it. He is not it. Look at Saka's performance the last 3 months of all seasons since 2021. He fades off big time or is injured. Yeah. Maybe he's feeling still the issues about the injuries. Surgical repercussions or something. I don't know what's going on there. Wouldn't be surprised if he's playing on some sort of injections still. Like he was 2 seasons ago when he played on injections just to finish the season with the ankle issue he had. Also, we all know that this manager doesn't have the balls to drop him for a few games to give him a rest. Let's be real. Wenger had the balls to drop Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, players like that. Arteta cannot even drop Saka. Like, that's the thing. At the moment, people also will disagree me on this, but I see it that way. Arteta has done a few good things at Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. We were not that big of a mess as some fans want to portray us to be at the time. But he fixed the mess we had. The issue is, right now, Arteta is the mess that needs to be fixing. And that includes player management. What quadruple? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What quadruple? He was rushed back for Real Madrid and PSG. Look how that went. Exactly. What that means is that Saka is going to turn up on some point. The GA will come. How do you know that? Do you have Magic 8 Ball? You are a sorcerer of some kind? You are a fortune teller? How do you know that? That he's going to turn up? What if he doesn't? If he does, okay, super. I'm happy. I'm over the moon. We win. If he doesn't turn up, what if he gets another injury? It's November and Saka doesn't even have 5 assists. Dude, Saka hasn't had an assist in Premier League since November 30th last year. If he doesn't get, right, if Saka doesn't get an assist, right, against Sunderland, Spurs, or Chelsea in the next 3 games, it will be 1 year without Saka having an assist in Premier League. And exactly, for Saka, that is bad. How many injuries can Saka get away with, because that's very low? Exactly. We are 2 injuries from the team falling apart. Exactly. Rice and Zubimendi. Exactly. What can Arteta do other than going in the January transfer window and get more players? But that's the thing. Why do we need all these players when everyone keeps telling me we have the best squad in the league, best depth in the squad in the world and everything? We have the best bench in the league and all this stuff. Why? You would think that after a billion spent, you would have replacements, you would have backups, you would have adequate players to come into place. But you're right, Stockholm, here. If Rice and Zubimendi get injured, we are back to the midfield of Merino and, well, Norgard. If Rice goes out, we have no set-piece deliveries. We're going to lose our engine in the midfield as well. If Rice goes out, it's not just a player in the 8. We lose like big part of the team. Of course, Arteta has done good things, but he has done exactly. He's also done some bad things right now. Arteta can't even drop Odegaard. Exactly. Now, bro, Mikel has earned his stripes. Based on what? Stripes usually are basically given or awarded when you win stuff. Mikel has won me over as a big criticism merchant. Wait, what? I don't get it. Sorry, I genuinely don't get it. He will get GA. How do I know? Answer though. How do I know? Because he stays consistent if he plays. Yeah, if he plays. For his own fitness, Saka needs to withdraw from the England squad for the last 2 meaningless World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, England also has been qualified to World Cup. Only team from Europe. I would see a very big world where Saka, Rice, pretty much every England not every, but big part of England big internationals, the main guys that are definitely going to go to World Cup in USA, cannot be taken. Take some other guys. Look for the closest backups that you need. Call up Welbecks and all these guys if you need. But yeah, it is like that. See, we have the best team. We have the best team. So you want to tell me that Zubimendi is not Zubimendi? What's its face? Merino can replace Declan Rice long term. 2-3 games that might not affect us that much, but 2-3 months with Merino in the midfield next to Zubimendi, that could be a bit different, no? Not to mention if Norgard has to play in midfield. 43 signings are Arteta being given that the whole squad plus 18 extra players. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well today, my brother. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Go subscribe to Gary as well, people. Go subscribe to Gary as well, people. Top guy, top Arsenal fan, quality content. Go show him some love, people. Rice and Eze shouldn't go away for this. Yeah, definitely. Even with poor midfield, our defense is strong, always a chance. Yeah, but you know that our midfield is our defense as well. And Declan Rice is a big part why we can press and we can run back and we can basically defend and cover positions. And if we have to play Merino there, it's not going to be the same, nowhere close. God forbid Zubimendi gets injured as well and we have to play Norgard there. That instantly just tanks down instantly. I hated Zubi when he signed, but after seeing him carry himself, he got so. Yeah, definitely. Zubimendi has been decent. He's not been great, but he's been very, very decent, without shadow of a doubt. I just wish he would be less panicky in these situations when he gets high pressed. I hope Tuchel does not pick the team. Tuchel needs to try out fringe players for the England squad. Exactly. Closest backups, just in case. Just so you are already in the loop, you know what to do. Because internationals are done till next year after this. And then it's going to be on just a few, yeah. And here is Gary's link, people. Go subscribe, show him some love. Yeah, every Big Six team has a number one left back. We don't have one on our main number one left wing who scores goals and brings trophies. Well, to be honest, Calafiori has not been bad this season. Credit where credit is due to Ricardo Calafiori. Yes, he pisses me off that he goes out on a wild hunting trips. He goes out like Dora the Explorer in the forward lines and everything. and he neglects more a bit defensive work. Hence why he gets caught out. He gets caught out of positions and all this stuff. Hence why he also is 1 yellow away from, or 2 yellows away, 1 or 2 yellows away from being suspended in the Premier League. But he is doing some very decent job going forward. He's definitely giving us extra options. In the game against Crystal Palace, was it Crystal Palace? I think it was Crystal Palace. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he played, and he was more defensive. He wasn't pushing up forwards as much, which also allowed us to basically be more resilient and not allow, for example, Sa to catch us out on counters. Credit where credit is due for that as well, to Ricardo as well, to that extent. He's the coach seen in football history. I have not seen a coach more than that. Zubmendi sets the tempo and picks those important passes to the front line. I think he's better than Watson. Zubimendi is more experienced and more seasoned. He has better technical ability. And I think that definitely plays in his favor right now, because Zubimendi is what, 28, 29? Zubimendi is what? 26. Zubimendi is 26. And obviously Watson, well, he's just a teenager, isn't he? Well, 21. I don't even know the years, to be honest. I just guessed. He's 21. He has 5 years behind of Zubimendi. He will be more defensive box-to-box type of midfielder than compared to Zubimendi. Zubimendi has the distribution abilities. The passing is definitely playing in his favor. The technical abilities, the first touch. With Watson, it's a bit more rough, a bit more tough, like the more English style type in those terms. Sunderland have a top 5 team. Wait. Well, based on current table that they are 4th in the league, yeah, they have a top 5 team. Overall, might not be the case, but a good manager can definitely do some magic with that. Skelly will replace Rice eventually. Mikel's big thing is versatile players like Merino and Trossard and Havertz. I get it, but at the same time, I get it. For example, I want to see Skelly in the number 8 for the longest time, right? But if I look from the other lens, from other side of the spectrum, we have way too many Swiss Army knife type of players, or whatever you call them, like jack of many trades. We have not enough specialists in the team. If you look from that point of view, we have one striker who's injured right now, ironically enough. We have one number 6 who plays in the 8, but yeah, we don't have specialists in the team. And what I mean by that is a specialist who excels in a specific position. Having these jack of all trade players is great to some extent, but from those, very big part of our team consists. We don't have a proper left back. Tierney is gone, so we haven't had a proper left back in general. For example, we don't have another striker, out-and-out striker, because Havertz is not a striker, out-and-out. Jesus is not an out-and-out striker. He's more of a winger. So, for example, those 2 players alone. Declan Rice is not even an 8, technically speaking. He's a 6, more of a 6. And if we could actually try Skelly next to Declan Rice, it would be very interesting to see how that team plays. For example, Eze, Skelly, Rice. Full English midfield, by the way. Eze, Skelly, Rice. Would be very interesting midfield to see in a game. Also, we were talking about this about a month ago, just before Odegaard got injured, right? That it would be nice to see a midfield of Odegaard, Eze, and Declan Rice. And we were so close to seeing that. We saw it for about 20 minutes. Up until Odegaard got injured, unfortunately. So hopefully that changed as well when we can see some of that stuff happen as well. We won't get another 29, 1-0 to win the league. I can tell you that for free. Yeah, for me, the thing is, I don't think Arteta sees him as a midfielder. Obviously, Arteta has changed his mind before, but Arteta said himself he more sees Skelly as a left back. He last year even threw out a proposition that Vanieri in few years could be a number 9, for whatever that is worth to anyone. Like, it's actually kind of nuts. Bro throws out our academy players like Guy throws out his cheating off, and we barely have any academy recruits anymore. To be honest, who do we have? Skelly, Vanieri, technically Max Dauman. Kinda can count Eze, but not entirely. Let's be real. He has let go about 30 of them, and that includes some good players we could have sold also for some pretty money, to be honest. But I get your point. I get your point. Balogun is not here. Beereth is not here. Like, I kind of get your point. I get your point, but yeah. But comparing us to La Masia, like, no. We cannot do that. We cannot compare ourselves to La Masia. Come on, man. Funny that 29 Trossard, Mikel Merino, not good enough. Like, the nuts part, Mikel Merino as well. This guy had never played striker in his life until he joined Arsenal. He comes to Arsenal, plays as a number 9, as a makeshift number 9, as basically a patch on a wound, and he's doing better there than most of the players we have seen at striker before. Like, that's the nuts part. Yes, he doesn't have the proper abilities that striker needs, but he can finish a chance. He has decent first touch. He's tall, so he can go for the headers, and he has very good movement in the box for open spaces. Ironically enough, like, that's kind of nuts if you think about it. We have signed 2 midfielders and paid for them combined 100+ million. 2 number 8s, technically speaking. And in weird way, they both have ended up being a striker for Arsenal in one way, shape, or the other. I'm talking about Havertz and Merino here. Make from that what you will. What else is happening? Nothing. Like, football is boring. Half time and no other goals. What is this crap? Champions League, wake up. 15 likes, people. Big up to you all. Big up to you all. Skelly over Calafiori as a left back. I much rather see Calafiori as a left back and Skelly in the 8. But yeah, Skelly last year, he had a phenomenal season. You can see that he's raw. He got caught out. He was hot-headed. He had some issues as well. But for him to being so disregarded at the moment, it's actually weird. Yes, he played in the cups and everything. He starts an old game. He comes on for about 20, 15 minutes, but he feels kind of disregarded in that regard. He's not good enough to be in the main left back. Yeah, Zubimendi is actually left 8, so there's get him out in the way for MLS. To be honest, we could try a Rice in the 6, Zubimendi in the 8. We could try that. The thing with that is, though, it will completely disrupt Arteta's style and system, because Zubimendi cannot do what Declan Rice does. Well, he can, but not to the same level what he does. And I think that definitely could disrupt Arsenal in general. Watch Zubimendi get bulldozed by Bayern midfield. Well, he's been bulldozed before this season already, so it's a bit, yeah, it is like that. Everybody bashing Vets everywhere. 113 million. Like, yee. Going to happen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I've been saying it. Anthony Robinson will help us. Yeah, we could have signed Tyreek Mitchell for free. We could have signed Ola Aina for free. We could have tried and gone Robinson. But if we got any of those, what was the point in getting Kieran Tierney then? Getting rid of Kieran Tierney then? Because Tierney was a proper left back, proper defensive-minded left back and everything as well. He had a great cross on him. He had good shooting abilities, passing abilities. So, I don't know. Like, it's like goes both ways. And people definitely are going to scream in the comments most likely, oh, but Tierney was always injured. No, he wasn't. We just didn't use him. So Gabriel Jesus, 29, and Mikel Merino by Victor Osimhen. Then we move. Is it safe to assume that by this statement, AJ, you mean that we shift formation as well? We're going to change formation. Because Gyökeres and Osimhen, none of those strikers kind of feel like they will be willing to sit on the bench. At least under this manager, of course. But the game has moved past having Sorry, my camera is again out of focus. Let me fix this. It's because I'm moving front and backwards all the time. My camera just loses its focus. But the game has moved past having a conventional left back like Kieran Tierney. Tactics evolved to inverting halfbacks. They're good to the ball. Is it just... No, it's not. It's the Arsenal system, how we play, how Arteta wants to play. Hence why we have these makeshift left backs. Let's be real. It's not like it has totally moved away from conventional left back. You're not gonna tell me that Nuno Mendes is a conventional, is a inverting type of left back. He can invert, but he doesn't do that a lot. Alfonso Davies, um, Balde. Like if we look at those, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. Yes, they can invert and they have inverted before, but they are not doing it to the extent that we are doing it. That's basically our signature move. Yeah, see, Don Carlo, Diego Simeone, Inzaghi, and everyone, they have proper left backs and they win. Rice as a 6, Zubi as an 8, and Eze in the 10 could get upper hand on Bayern. Potentially, definitely potentially. Although I would want to have a number 8 that has a set of lungs on him that can run. Because against that Bayern team, the way they played against PSG yesterday, yeah, we need some pace, we need some strength, and we need some endurance and stamina in that midfield. That for me with Zubimendi is the biggest worry, together with his sometimes lack of strength. Not always, but sometimes. Obviously, Diaz as well yesterday got a red card, so he's not going to play against Arsenal, which technically is great news for us. But at the same time, they have the backups. They have still Gnabry, and they have Carl and everything. Like they will figure stuff out. They will figure stuff out. I'm looking forward to that game. Should be a good one. Yeah, you could say best defense in Europe against one of the best attacks in Europe. Bayern Munich haven't lost 16 games this season. Bayern Munich have played only 16 games this season, and they haven't lost a single one. That's the nuts part. The fact this stream is needed at all is a massive red flag, though. Well, basically, this stream is needed because, well, no, it's a red flag for people who want to see red, because this stream definitely is rubbing the people the wrong way. Definitely. I didn't expect so many of you to be here, by the way. So big up to you all with the Champions League going on, all that. But ultimately, yeah, I expected massive backlash on the stream at some point. Whether it's going to be now, as it is happening to some extent now, whether it's going to happen in the comments or at some point in the future, because I don't get clipped up. I'm a nobody here, so I'm escaping that to some extent. If I let's just say had about 50,000 subscribers and people were clipping me up, or 100% I would get banged from all sides, pause, and all of that. I would play 4-4-2, Victor and Gyökeres up front. Interesting. The double V's. Big up, Mark. Big up, Mark. I have a question. Why people think that playing flashy football don't win anything? Because some fans are saying that we did not win anything playing like that. We won 3 Premier Leagues and 7 FA Cups. Yeah, exactly. Because for me as well, I'm a very strong believer. Big up to you, Mark, as well. I'm a very strong believer that Arteta needs to find a balance. And if he could basically play the football we played in 22-23 season, right, and combined it with the defense we had last year or have right now, to some extent, we could be unstoppable. With the free-flowing attack and this gritty defense, we could be in a very good position. Especially if we, let's just say, in the first half, we try and blitz teams, score 2-3 quick goals, then we can sit back, let them attack if they want to, even. Like that definitely is the case. Big up to you for this, and you are saying absolute facts. Like, why do we need to play this haram to win? Obviously, if we win, I'm not gonna complain. But the fact is that playing this haram ball, to some extent, needs to lead to winning a trophy, and in this case, Premier League or Champions League, a major. Will it? In how many? In half a year we will see, because it's going to be made then in 6 months, unless season is over sooner in terms of points, or we are out of Champions League and stuff like that. Time will tell, obviously, over that. Time only will tell. 2-0 Newcastle. 2-0 Newcastle. Joel Linton has scored. Dan Burn scored the first one, and Joel Linton has scored the second. Inter Milan are winning 1-0 against Kairat. Lautaro Martinez has scored. And rest of the games are the same. Ajax Galatasaray 0-0, Benfica by Leverkusen 0-0. Club Brugge still winning 2-1 against Barcelona. And trust me, people, it's not going to be easy going to Club Brugge and win there. It definitely is not going to be easy. Manchester City still beating Dortmund 2-0. And for some weird reason, Marseille Atalanta is still 0-0. I was expecting a few goals there. Simple, because there was one, but by Arteta, so there you go. Bayern is Crystal Palace. What? In which universe? In which universe? Bayern Munich is Crystal Palace. How many Champions Leagues Crystal Palace have again? Remind me. How many times Crystal Palace have banged us 5-1? And do we even do like hashtags pray for Palace? We usually do pray for Bayern and all this stuff. I said in Shane's stream earlier today, I will have no chest till the League Cup is won. I will have no chest until I see us actually pulling this through. At the moment, I have no chest. Obviously, I cannot deny, and I'm not denying, that we have put some somewhat steady foundations. The future looks that it could work, but it's way too early to get giddy, to have chest and everything. Way too early to do some predictions and all this stuff. Olise, Sol, Nevan, Kane, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya, Timba will lock Bayern up. Olise is old. What? Wait, so hold on. Don't let Claire hearing you saying this. First things first, Olise is 23 years old. He's younger than Bukayo Saka, by the way. That's just in first. Kane loves to score against Arsenal. He's in good shape for them. Gabriel Raya Timba will lock Bayern up. Well, we'll see about that. Olise is under 25. He's 23. Olise is 23. He's going to be 24 in a month. Olise is younger than Bukayo Saka by a year and a half. Yeah, Kane loves a goal against Arsenal. He loves a penalty against Arsenal as well. If you remember the Spurs days, that game is going to be very interesting to watch, to say the least. That game is going to be super duper exciting, at least from my point of view, because we'll see. Bayern is one of those teams that we need to get one over. We need to break this, I don't want to say curse, but this way that we are facing them in general, because it's not great. Losing them to 5-1 constantly. Constantly. Last time we faced Bayern, 2-2 at home, 1-0 loss away. Worst Bayern Munich team in a decade. Yet Arsenal fans told me and called me a deluded moron, but they said that we have the best team in the last decade. That, what's its face? Pray for Bayern hashtag was trending and all this stuff, and that went well. At the end, we had to pray for Arsenal. No one looked... Yeah, I get it. No one looks like, but at the same time, I want to see us being tested against big teams with big firepower. Because, yes, we have been united. We have been in all the teams most of the teams we have faced. But, yes, one brilliant moment. But then again, we lost against Liverpool. They were there for the taking. We drew against Man City. They were there for the taking. Let's see what we do against Bayern, because so far, as soon as we have come up against a massive team, it's not looking that rosy, is it? And don't act like no one's scoring against us, because against Brighton in that Carabao Cup, in the first 15 minutes, we could have been easily down 3-0. We'll see how it goes against Sunderland this weekend. But after international break, we have Spurs at home, Bayern at home, Chelsea away, which in the last few years have been draws only, draw central. Then we have Brentford at home, and then we have Aston Villa away. Obviously, Aston Villa is a hit and miss this season. I don't know what kind of Aston Villa we are going to get. But those 5 games definitely will talk about more than anything. will say a lot about our chances this season. Sunderland screams 1-0 Jaka winner. Can you imagine the scenes? Can you imagine that? Other than that perfect record. Yeah, I only need a nose job, and I only need laser eye surgery, and I only need bare teeth. But otherwise, like that, I'm actually pretty damn beautiful. Well, come on, man. If we had actually beaten Liverpool and City, I would arguably be done. Yeah, I would be Arteta well done. There would be a lot of praise for that, because Liverpool were there for the taking. Nobody can deny that. But we basically shit our pants and we went defensive. Arteta did. That infamous midfield of Rice, Zubimendi, Merino. He refused to play Gyökeres or Eze. Same against City, the same midfield. And again, it was 2-2. Those two teams, the teams we tend to struggle against, they were there for the taking, and we just didn't use that. And the nuts part is, as good as we are righting last season's wrongs into rights at the moment by beating Crystal Palace, Fulham, and all these teams, right? You cannot deny that we drew against Anfield. This year we lost. We beat Man City at home. This year we drew. So it kind of balanced each other out. I still maintain the same stance on the fact that to win the league this season, we need to win the same amount of games we did last year. Plus, we need to, 8-9 games from last year's draws, we need to turn into wins. That's going to give us 16 to 18 more points. That would give us a total of near 90. And I think that should be enough. Will we be able to do that? That's a completely different story, obviously. Because we are not going to sit on 3 goals the whole season. We are not going to keep clean sheets for the rest of the season. We're going to concede goals. At some point, there will be a game where we concede, let's just say, 2 goals or 3 goals. It might happen. It will happen. Oh my God. Kairat Almaty have scored against Inter Milan, by the way, people. 1-1. 1-1. Kairat Almaty have scored against Inter Milan. Game is at San Siro, by the way. I'm enjoying Arsenal being solid, not going to apologize. No, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm definitely not saying that's bad. I like that we can keep clean sheets. Yesterday actually was worried after Ben White did that Kung Fu Panda type BS that we might get a penalty and concede. That is also credit to Mikel Arteta. I am low-key at a stage where I'm worried that we're not going to get a clean sheet. We're going to concede a goal. Foden again for City, 3-0 up. Big up to City. Because City as well, by the way. They are kicking into gear. That is a team we definitely should be looking behind us. 7 points at the moment, but yeah. Sunderland didn't look good against Everton on Monday night. 1-1. Everton is poor. Everton is decent, but they're not great as well. Definitely. The thing is, wait, let's check this. Obviously, you could argue that Sunderland are running out of steam. As newly promoted side, the hype, the excitement, and all this stuff is gone. But yeah, it will be interesting. They beat Chelsea 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. They beat Wolves. Well, that's not hard. They lost to United, although that game could have gone either way. They beat Forest. They drew against Villa with 10 men. They beat Brentford. They drew to Palace. They lost to Burnley. They beat West Ham. It's interesting. They can be. I think their steam also might run out at some point as a newly promoted side. You know that new manager bounce and all that stuff. The new promotional bounce, if you want to say it that way. Look who you mentioned. Our problems were Fulham and West Ham's. Yeah, we beat them. But we didn't have those issues. But don't forget that last few years, we drew at Anfield. And we beat City at Emirates. And this year, we lost points. Instead of how many 4 points we get, right? Instead of 4 points we tend to get from those 2 games, we got 1. Look at it that way. And the draws from last year, it balances a bit each other out. Yeah, they were struggling quite heavily. They were there for the taking big time. Cha- Changes, we finished second, big blow, Edu leaving, etc. Edu leaving is a big blow. Interesting. So what, you don't believe Berta, or is it just that no commas in that sentence? We did okay to get to second, but now we got a chance. We are well oiled over 6 years. Well, freak me if I buy a car and I need to oil my car, and then I need to wait 6 years to drive for the first time. City looking good and Foden hitting form again. That's a worry, exactly. And Haaland is always firing as long as he is on the pitch. He's always going to be an issue. So Haaland and Foden together definitely is going to be scary. Yamal has scored apparently. What a goal from Lamine Yamal! Great touch and go play in the box 2-2. Yeah, Club Brugge have conceded. But yeah, people. I think on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. I have seen that I have basically pissed off some people. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. But yeah, for today, I'm gonna end it here. So like the stream, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully, gonna see you all tomorrow. We'll see what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, because it either could be a preview for the Arsenal game, or it might be something else. But yeah, for today, I'm signing off. I'm gonna go relax, chill. I'm gonna go put my kids to bed, and hopefully gonna see you all tomorrow. So take care. Peace.